Hi, and welcome to our Icelandic road trip. This is part 7 and the final instalment. And if you enjoy what you see, then don't forget to hit that like button. And why not subscribe so you catch our future travels. And now a recap of our route. We headed in an anti-clockwise direction around the country over 11 nights, stopping at 9 different destinations. The aim of our video is to inspire you to take your own trip, and on this video we particularly show you the interesting weather conditions you could meet. And for reference, this was filmed in mid-March, and today's journey will take us from Árnestappi to the country's capital of Reykjavik. So with just more than a hint of sadness, this journey is going to come to an end, but let me show you what we see over the last couple of days. Starting with Jules Verne's signpost from the journey to the centre of the earth, in front of the impressive Snæfellsjökull and the Bárður monument, an ancient Icelandic protector of the region. And I think that's enough of me murdering Icelandic pronunciation. That 7,000-year-old volcano is just part of the fantastic scenery here. Now I'd love to play you the sounds of the nesting birds and the waves crashing against the rocks, but it is incredibly cold and incredibly windy here. But you guessed that, right? Once again, another side to Iceland, and one I don't think we've seen so far. So even on the last days of this trip, it's throwing up surprises. This is a magnificent sight, and I could stand here all day and watch it if I wasn't going to freeze to death. And although today's journey is only 120 miles or roughly 200 kilometres, I noticed the weather front in front of us looks a bit ominous. So I think it's time to hit the road. And look at this, isn't it just fabulous? And this is probably the highlight of my day, drives like this. I think it's a prudent time once again to look at the driving tips. At the time of recording, which was in 2018, the speed limit was 90 km per hour on tarmac and 80 km per hour on gravel. Now of course that's the limit. It does slow down through towns, tunnels, etc, but you've probably seen the earlier videos. Next, there's plenty of places to park up en route, but if you do feel the need to pull onto the verge, be very, very careful. The snow can hide a multitude of sins, and even if it looks firm, it may not be. And there's the little Etta, parked in a lay-by, and a chance to take in the fabulous scenery. And that has been a revelation, how quiet and how beautiful this part of Iceland is. Don't forget we're only just one day outside of Reykjavik, and if you've seen the previous video, you know there's plenty to see in the Snæfell Peninsula. It takes us about 7.5 hours to get to Reykjavik, but that's with us stopping pretty much all the time. And as we head back onto the road, a few more of those driving tips. Fuel stops and come for breaks. Just plan around towns. As you can see, there's not a lot of facilities on the road. And when you park up, remember to try and park up into the wind. So pop your window open, stick your fingers out, see which way the wind's blowing. It stops the wind catching your door and leaving you with an expensive repair bill once you get your hire car back. A couple of things we packed was just a USB cigarette charger so that we could keep our devices topped up on the move, a paper map which came in useful a few times to check out the details that SatNav doesn't have, and a USB rechargeable torch. One thing today's video is going to show you is how the weather can change, so make sure you do plan ahead and you're aware of what you're facing. And do me a favour, make a mental snapshot of this view. And another stopover, but you couldn't miss this, could you? The Instagrammer's favourite, the Black Church. And if you know Janice at all, you know we have to have a stroll around the graveyard. And the next stop is a lovely golden sandy beach, but there's a surprise in store. Just keep an eye out in the water. Now what's that I see? Yep, more seals, frolicking just off the shoreline, almost putting on a show for us. Once again, despite the cold, I could stand here and watch these for ages, but that weather doesn't look great ahead of us. And within no time at all, the snow begins to fall, and rather alarmingly, it's settling quite quick. And I guess it's time for another tip, and that is, just stay calm, drive at your pace, and just try and stay safe. And do you remember that mental picture from earlier? Yep, this is just a couple of hours later, and this is the worst of the weather we've seen over the entire 11 nights of this journey. And it looks like they have the big guns ready should it get a lot worse. But the good news is we seem to be passing through it, and once again within no time at all, there's no snow, blue skies, and it's time for another leg stretch. And then we arrive at Reykjavik, and that must-see Sun Voyager sculpture. And another must-see is Reykjavik's iconic Hallgrímskirkja, the church on a hill. The stunning 20th century design is said to feature elements of Iceland's landscape, and it's equally impressive inside. And that is a magnificent church organ. And its simplicity is almost serene. And for a small fee, you can take a lift to the top, and then you've got a flight of stairs before you're presented with views over Iceland's capital. And as you can see, the centre of the city is not that big, so it's very easy to explore in a day or so. Reykjavik is a lovely city, and it's certainly worth getting out and exploring. One of the things that we really enjoyed was some of the works of art that we found scattered around, and these three I found particularly attractive. You're probably also going to want to explore the harbour area. It's from here you'll find the whale watching trips. You'll also find bars, cafes and restaurants as well. And there goes a whale watching boat. Best of luck, folks. Reykjavik makes an ideal base to head out on your first mini adventure, or a place to start and end your road trip. Unfortunately for us, this is the end of ours, and it's been a fabulous 12 days. We've really enjoyed it. I hope you like what we put together. Don't forget to click like and subscribe so you can follow the rest of our travels. Stay well, stay safe. Cheers.